our itinerary is to talk about the patch notes themselves, right? We played a couple of games. If you've seen our YouTube channel, Comics Competitive Corner, link is, if you're watching this, you're here. But you get what I'm saying. We played a couple of games just with some of the changes, and I just kind of wanted to go over some of our thoughts on certain changes in particular. I know for one major change that I think was incredible to me, everybody was saying for some reason that Yamamoto was like busted and that they made a particular change to his special flash to where it doesn't go forever, and I personally think that's a really good change. But Royce, is there anything that you would like to highlight before I start to look at the patch notes specifically?
I would like it to be stated on camera that as an Eisen player, I feel a ton of difference, and I would like to greatly appreciate all the hardworking devs for everything that they're doing over there. Really, really fantastic work, guys. Just a bang up job, you know.
A bang up job is crazy.
Characters got small adjustments, but I think in the process of the things that you do, you feel it more. Like, who you main, you feel the changes more often because that's who you spent the most time with. And I felt the difference. I felt the difference in Eisen immediately.
No, wow.
Yeah, so that was crazy.
I want the audience to hold him to that statement. Hold him to it. So there were minor changes and like adjustments for like the game in itself, but I want to talk about the character specific changes. One of the ones that I thought was interesting was looking at Bankai Ichigo and how he can no longer follow up into Hakugeki after a Getsuga Tensho because the opponent would be too far. Now, personally, I think most characters can Hakugeki after something like that, but I get the idea behind it. It's kind of like to limit the ridiculousness of it because it does kind of stretch kind of far. I think it was a little bit unreasonably far. However, I do think that having a follow-up after something like that is necessary, and I think that you shouldn't always have to spend meter to follow up. But that's just me.
I don't think you should have to spend meter to follow up, but like I think to actually like have a real conversation about like development and how things work, I think it's hard for them to not see. I think it's hard for them to not see things and then have them like the expectation for them to respond accordingly is relatively fair.
Yeah.
But like they kind of view it. It's supposed to all be in preparation for ranked, and if that is the final goal, right? Then at a certain point, we have to start talking about like, okay, how much creativity do you want to allow? And then on top of that, I know Bleach Rebirth of Souls is a new game, but the type of people and the type of gamers that exist are not going to broadly change. There are people that just want to try to find the most broken thing in the game and do their best to abuse it.
Right. Okay. So I agree with this, and so the way this topic is kind of put here, it kind of bleeds into itself, right? Because when we're discussing the patch notes, especially with what you just said, it leads me into a thought process based on our tournament that we had, where Renji was by far the dominant character, because as first day players, we weren't 100% sure how to deal with the strategy that came with a Renji. But one of the big things was that he was able to use his awakening and completely get rid of any damage that we had dealt with him over the course of the match at the beginning. You know what I mean? And so that was one of the bigger changes that came in his patch.
You felt that more than anybody.
Oh, no. Because I was whooping his behind for him to get all the health back. And the funniest part about it is because I didn't know at the time that he got all of his health back, I was banking on it. I was like, it's cool because he going to get him awakening. He going to have that little bit of health. I'm going to soul break him still, and then we're going to be all right. We're going to be back in the game. But that's when I learned the hard way that day. But yeah, he and Komamura both do not regain Reishi at all from this new patch. And so I was just wondering, what do you think? Do you think that's a perfect change? Do you think it helps to balance the brokenness of their Bankais, or do you think that with the proper strategy they were beatable anyway?
I think with the proper strategy, they were beatable anyway. But I'm not mad. Like I'm not mad at the structure. Purely, especially if you purely go off of how our tournament went. For you, and I throw jokes around, but I'm being serious when I say this. He felt all of that difference. Like that's not a joke. For you, that is and was a game breaking moment. Like that would have in a set. Those moments are literally game defying.
Yeah,
like are defining. Like those are the moments that like set the stage for what will happen next and what can happen next. So that on top of his weakening, which I'm assuming when they spoke to the adjusting of behavior, I'm assuming it's a small extension to the actual time itself, and the fact that I don't know if you know this, but on Wake Up, there were times, it happened rarely, but I saw it 3 to 5 times over the course of the hundreds of matches that we've both collectively watched and sent to each other. There were times where out of the weakening on Wake Up, he could still like get a fresh attack, like still get a full combo off.
Okay, so I wasn't tripping when I seen that. So at first I thought I was bugging, because I know I said that to myself, and one was okay, I should be straight, because he can't use that no more, and then he's stretching across the scratch. Okay.
Please don't take off my mind.